Hey everyone, this is Church coming at you with another video. In today's video, I want to talk about my experience at Prime Inc. We're going to talk about training pay, we're going to talk about pay period, and we're going to talk about trainers. Everything that you need to know about Prime Inc. basically. So when I first had got started, I researched trucking because I was already a bus driver. I researched trucking because I always was told, oh, truckers make $100,000. So I said, do your research because you really got to research to know that most of the time they are owner operators, not just regular company drivers. I really never even heard, like in my research, I really never even heard of a Werner, a Snyder, and stuff like that. The only companies that I did hear about was Prime Inc., Prime Inc., Swift, and CR England. And of course, you know, I knew not to go to Swift. People were saying, oh no, you never go there. And it was, you never go to CR England. So I got on the computer and I filled out my application. So I got on the computer and I filled out my application to go to Prime Inc. The next day, the recruiter had called me and was basically talking to me about past experiences, like where I used to work at and stuff like that, my background. And she said, okay, now we're going to get the process started. And in the process, they do a little soft background check, just like Swift. In the recruiter experience, she did not have the best communication. Like I was saying, that Swift recruiter did have good communication, but this lady at Prime, she did not have good communication. It'll be some days she'd be like, oh, we were busy, or oh, nobody's really working in the office these days. It's like, that's a bad coming in. But I was like I said, I still went there because I was like, it was really no other option but Prime Inc. That was Prime Inc. Basically, it was top tier. Everybody was like, oh, you don't go nowhere else but Prime Inc. So, of course, you know, you got to get clear for your background. You got to get clear for your drug screening. And you got to get clear for your work history. Prime, just like Swift, they don't want to see you have more than 3 jobs in 2 years. Which, like I always say, I call BS on that. Because it's like all the people that come in and out of here and you mad at someone having more than 3 jobs in 2 years. And that don't even have to just be driving jobs. It could be any kind of job. When you go to Prime Inc., you have to get your permit. And for me, I had to get my tanker endorsement and I had to get my combination endorsement. I already had my Class B, so I already had past general knowledge and passenger. Oh, and when you get to Prime does get you a TWIC card. But it will take a little bit. You probably won't get it until you pass, until you finish your T&T phase. So when everything cleared, she asked me, hey, so when would you like to start? And I told her a date, and basically I moved everything out of my apartment because I'm thinking, oh, I'm about to be on the road for 3 weeks at a time. No point of having a place. I ain't gonna be here, but 3 days out the month. So I pretty much risked it all to go to trucking. And so she got me a rental car, and Prime has its own hotel because the only training facility that they had open was Springfield, Missouri, because it was in the middle of the pandemic. And when you first got to Springfield, Missouri, the first day, which is like a Sunday, they have registration. And then the next day, they will have, you stay in your room the whole day and you will do a COVID test. And once you get cleared for COVID, you can come down with the general public. Do not forget to ask them, do they do gas mileage reimbursement? I actually went up there with my mom. It took us about 19 hours because I live in Baltimore, Maryland. I went up there, my mom drove with me, and then she flew back because, you know, that's a far drive. She wanted to make sure I got there safely and stuff like that. They also have a facility, I think, in Piston, Pennsylvania, and then I forgot, somewhere in Utah or Iowa or something like that. But like I said, Springfield was the only one that was open, but Piston would have been the one that was closest to me. And I think that at Piston, they don't have their own hotel, but in Springfield, they do have their own hotel there. So you stay at their hotel, but say if it's booked, they have too many students staying in the hotel. But if you are a regular driver, you can't stay in a hotel, or you'll have to pay for it, which I think is about $50 a night. Hotel ain't all that, you know what I mean? Like, it's like a ran down motel. It's not all that, and they do not clean it good. But say that hotel is booked, they have 2 affiliated hotels, which I think is Fire and Ice and this other motel. But if you can, try to stay at the Fire and Ice. That's the best one, and they have good food there. During orientation, you will not get paid during orientation and during your PSD phase, which that's the phase where you're getting your testing for your CDL license, which, you know, of course, PSD is just basically pre-trip backing maneuvers, and you're driving around town or driving over the road, which I didn't drive over the road because my trainer had 3 students which 3 students is not that bad. Some people have 7 students to a truck. We only had 3, but it was another person that was there that had like 7 students to a truck, which that is not good. And just a small little thing. I don't feel like that's not real training. I don't feel like a driver should not be a trainer. Like, a person should have their CDL, but they should not be like a driver too, because like say you got a hot load and stuff like that, so now you ain't even letting your student back and stuff, and they not getting the most out of the experience. I feel like all trainers should be salary, and they should not have to chase miles and stuff like that. But yeah, you do not get paid, but they will give you a cash advance up to $200 per week for like food and stuff, or getting around, and for stuff like that. But they do have like 4 shuttle vans. I think it's like purple, green, red, and blue or something like that. That's the shuttle vans, and they come in different times. But the shuttle experience is not the best. Like, it comes pretty often, but their customer service wasn't the best. Now my PSD trainer, I did have a good PSD trainer, but he did have like a short, he get irritated really fast, so maybe you want to fix that. But other than that, like for training and like not his personality, I would say I would give him a 9 out of 10. And Prime, like I said, Prime is pretty much the go-to company. Like I said, before I got my license, I was and like I said, now looking back, I should have did a little bit more. But yeah, like I said, Prime is like the company that pretty much all the students go to, especially if you're gonna be going over the road. But now, of course, we got Halvor lines and stuff like that y'all can go to. You're gonna be sitting and waiting a little bit, especially if you're a woman. You're gonna be sitting there and waiting for like 2 weeks, and that's kind of if you're lucky. But yeah, for basically like 2 weeks, because it's a shortage of trainers. Well, it's a shortage of trainers everywhere. Shortage of trainers at Swift and all that. It's everywhere. I think Prime actually had a hiring freeze. They had so many new students. Because in the midst of the pandemic, I think that's when a lot of people have started posting their journeys. Because I never heard of all these other people, like Sassy Trucker and Trucking with Tana and stuff. I didn't never see them when I was researching. The only people I seen was like Queen Trucking, and I used to follow the Highway. I still subscribe to her, the Highway Diva, and there was this lady named Pink and stuff like that. And the other, it's like a light-skinned lady, Puerto Rican lady named Pink, and then it was and she from New Orleans. She was like, oh, hey, it's your lady Pink, like yeah. And then it was the other lady Pinky, keeping it 100 experiences, stuff like that. So that's the people that I was following. Nick and Carla, that's the people I was following. I never seen all of these new TikTok truckers and stuff like that. And I know y'all probably like, you a TikTok trucker. I know, but I'm just saying I didn't see them when I was like researching. Follow my TikTok at All Trucked Out with Cherish. We didn't go over the road, we just stayed near the terminal because like I said, he had another student and it took her like 3 times to pass that test, which that's a pro about Prime. They don't just send you home. Like I said, with Swift, they will send you home if you fail your test twice. Swift will send your ass home, but Prime, they will still let you stay. Like this one lady, she tried to pass that test like 7 to 10 times, so that's good that she ain't quit, because I'd have probably just went on and packed it on up. And I think the only reason I got my trainer, you're supposed to fill out like a questionnaire to find somebody that you're compatible with. I'm pretty easygoing. I don't care if you a smoker or nothing like that. I'm just trying to get the trainer, get my miles, and then get up on out of here. But I think the only reason I got my trainer because we was both from Baltimore. But like I said, my trainer was pretty good. Like, I definitely consider him a friend, even after I got off his truck, which I was only on his truck for like 2.5 weeks. But he was like a steering wheel hog, and he would not let me back. And I was his first student, so maybe that was why he was too scared. But if you're too scared, maybe it's not ready yet. But he was cool as hell. I ain't gonna lie to you, he was cool as hell. I really liked him as a person. For training, when I was there, Prime paid about $700 a week for training. Prime paid $700 a week for training, and I netted like $450 because, like I said, they do that cash advance, taking like $50 out, and then it was another, they taking the money for your TWIC card out and stuff like that. But now they pay for training $900 a week, so I guess you probably get $650 a week, which is still low, but they one of the higher paying companies. But only other company that I know pays higher for training is Halvor Lines. And then I got paid 45 cents per mile, but now they pay 50 cents per mile for reefer. But if you do a lightweight truck, you get paid 5 cents more per mile, and that's the trucks that pretty much really ain't got no sleeper. It's not a day cab, but it really don't have no sleeper. Like, it wouldn't have this cabinet space right here. Like, you had to put your fridge in the front seat and stuff like that. It says it's really, really fast. For me, finishing orientation and stuff and just being with my PSD trainer, it only took me 2 weeks to get my license because I passed on the first time, and the other girl passed on her first time as well. Because like I said, it was 3 of us. Now, the only time that their food was good was the food at the Millennial Building. They had really good chicken tenders, but they give you like a set amount of money for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day. So that was really nice. And the trainer I had, he was a lease operator. So you can get a company driver as a trainer, or a lease operator as a trainer. I prefer a lease because at a lease operator's truck, you can go up to 65 miles per hour. But if you got a company driver, it's only 63 because they're trying to save money on their fuel. But I think that's really unsafe to be driving 63 when regular people are driving like 68 to 75 miles per hour. That's like a safety hazard. That's why I say Prime, I don't really consider them a trucking company. They more just a training company. So my dispatcher, I really didn't get to talk to my dispatcher. I only pretty much got to talk to my trainer. My trainer was my only point of contact. Other than that, that was it. And that's a huge con for me. Like, I never really got to directly talk to my dispatcher. So I was at a mega carrier for a lot of people say that Prime forces you to lease, but that's not true. Prime does not force you to lease. A lot of people come to Prime strictly to lease, thinking they're about to be an owner operator, but it's a cap when you leasing through a company that's controlling your loads. Now, if you get off the truck for a family emergency, they are pretty reasonable about it, but you have to get back on the truck before 30 days or they will drop you from the program and you will have to reapply. I did reefer, but they also have they also have tanker and flatbed. Prime has Freightliners, Internationals, and Pete's. They have all the trucks basically besides the Western Stars, but that's the most popular ones. And for every 7 days work, you get 24 hours of home time, which that's not a lot, but Prime is an over-the-road company. And I will give Prime a 7.3 out of 10, and I will say it's a good company for new drivers if you don't mind that long training. I personally think that's way too long, but it's not a bad company to start with. All right, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share, and follow all my social medias. And I want to start doing something new. If you want to tell me about an experience that you had at a company, please message me on Facebook, but put in the comment section below that you messaged me so I can check my message requests. Make it very detailed and send pictures if you can. Thank y'all. Put a truck in the comment section if you made it to the end of the video. Bye.